The Resilience Across Borders podcast is intended for education, support, and inspiration. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer any professional, medical, or health advice. If you are dealing with or suffering from any psychological or medical conditions, please seek help from a qualified health professional. Hello and welcome back to Resilience Across Borders podcast. I'm your host, Rashid Zahidi, and in today's episode, we will talk about how to ask better questions, the skill that pretty much changes everything, and also unlocks deeper conversations, better decisions, and faster growth. So we will talk about some question asking strategies. We've all heard the phrase, there's no such thing as a bad question, but the truth is some questions spark insight and connection, while others shut down conversation or just go nowhere. So whether you're coaching, managing a team, building relationships, or simply trying to understand yourself and or others better, asking better questions is a superpower. Good questions open doors. Good questions create clarity and lead to meaningful answers. So here's a few things to keep in mind, how to start asking better questions, and of course, a reminder of why it matters. Number one, start with curiosity, not judgment. So to ask with genuine curiosity, set aside the need to be right or prove a point. You're here to understand, not to interrogate, or to lead either, not leading questions. Example, instead of, why would you do that? Try, can you walk me through what led you to do that? Or what led you to that decision? Or what led you to how you approached it? A practical use for this is in a disagreement with, say, with a partner or a coworker. A curious question helps diffuse defensiveness and invites deeper understanding. Number two, ask open-ended questions. Whenever you ask yes or no questions, that's all you get. You get yes or no. But when you ask how, ask what, ask when, ask where, who, and sometimes why, but of course, carefully. Again, the tone matters, the context matters, and everything. For instance, instead of, did you like the presentation? Which will say, yeah, try what stood out to you in the presentation. Think in leadership or coaching. Open-ended questions reveal thoughts. They reveal the feelings and insights that close-ended ones miss. A yes or no is not going to give you much information in these contexts. But open-ended questions will reveal to you how that person thinks, what they're feeling, and what insights they may have to share. Number three, ask questions that invite reflection. So encourage people and also yourself, if you're doing reflective things or you're journaling or whatever, encourage yourself or others to go beyond the surface. Ask questions that help someone think more deeply. So for instance, what's something about this situation that you haven't considered yet? Or what belief might be shaping your reaction or outlook? And you can use these in journaling, you can use them in therapy or personal development to uncover blind spots or limiting patterns as well. Number four, break big questions into smaller ones. So whenever that's necessary, whenever that's needed, I'll give you an example. But basically, don't overwhelm yourself or others with huge questions either, because there are some questions that are just too big that just paralyze you. Break it down if it's huge and overwhelming, whether it's a question to yourself or to someone else. So for instance, instead of saying, what should I do with my life? That's a huge question. You can start with, what gives me energy? What kind of problems do I like solving? What do I keep coming back to when I have free time? So like a collection of questions like this can then just be the building blocks for then being able to lead you to better answers to that big question of what should I do with my life. If you break it down this way, if you just get stuck on that big question, you look at it and you look at it and then you go to something else and you don't really making it progress. With great moments of overwhelm, life transitions, or goal setting, smaller questions lead to clearer next steps and helps avoid paralysis. Number five, and also important, is to pause after you ask. So that's the whole idea, right? So once you ask a good question, wait. Let the other person or your own mind catch up. So, for instance, you ask, what do you need most right now? Then breathe. Let the silence do its work and let the silence do the heavy lifting. Put to practical use in deep conversations, giving space leads to richer, more thoughtful answers. Number six, tailor the question to the moment. What to do. So match the tone, the depth, and urgency of your question to the context and the emotional state at that time and the emotional state of the person. For instance, in high stress moments, instead of what's your long-term plan, ask what would help you feel supported right now. And of course, use emotional intelligence to meet people where they are, especially in high pressure situations or emotional conversations. Number seven, ask follow-up questions. To keep the dialogue going, build on what's been said. And that's also active listening. Example, yes, that's interesting. Can you say more about what you mean by that? Or what happened next? Or tell me more. This works in interviews, in coaching, or just casual conversations where you're genuinely interested and curious about whoever you're conversing with. Follow-ups show that you're listening and care about what's being said, but also help you understand even better. So anyways, better questions lead to better outcomes. Every meaningful breakthrough, whether in relationships, self-awareness, leadership, or creativity, starts with a better question. So the next time you're stuck, feel overwhelmed or disconnected, try asking something simple and powerful like, what matters most right now? Or, what would this look like if it were easy? The answers might surprise you and change everything. And if you want more practice, you can try these journaling prompts. And you can ask yourself this, what am I avoiding asking myself? Or, what question would help me move forward today? Or what do I wish someone would ask me right now? Remember, our brain follows the questions we ask it, right? So that's one way to direct your brain and your mind the way you want to direct it and to get better answers from yourself and from others. As always, thank you for tuning in to the Resilience Across Borders podcast. If you're enjoying the podcast, finding it helpful, please follow the blog at resilience.com. Follow it on social media and do review it, do share it. And we find that very encouraging to us and lets us know that someone is listening. So this is not all. To be kind to yourself and be kind to others and stay resilient.